In order to get the groups working and to get started, they all needed one facilitator. We decided to interview one of them and ask them about their role. Hi, could you introduce yourself? What's your name and what country are you from?
I'm Loïc. I'm from France, from a city that is called Lille, close to Brussels. And yes, I was facilitator, as you said.
What does it mean being a facilitator? What does a facilitator do?
Basically, we encourage the participants to express themselves. So there is a lot about moderation. So we take care everyone is able to say its opinion, and at the same time that no one is taking all the speech for himself or herself. And we are also following some guidelines to reach some outcomes. So the outcomes of the activities were to study the best practices, to find some support mechanism and some success factors for each of these best practices. So this was basically our job.
And I was wondering what group were you a part of? Because there were specific groups with specific topics.
Yes, there were 5 subtopics, and I was in the topics of access to infrastructures, which is very important for me because in France I grew up in a village very far from the infrastructures. So this topic was very meaningful for me. That's why I asked to be part to facilitate this topic. And yes, I was very happy to be part of it.
What was the preparation for becoming a facilitator?
We had several reunions to talk about the activities, to ask about our question. Basically, the preparation was reading the report that had been done before the conference, to study them, to also study the best practices. So this was the first part, and then the second part was to implement the activities on the space. So we settled the tables, we put our flip chart, we tried to put a safe space so every participant could feel well. Yeah, and that was basically our job.
What was your favorite thing about being a facilitator?
I was very happy to see everyone explaining himself or herself. Even the people that were shy at the beginning, I think we reached all together with the group to make everyone able to express himself or herself and to make everyone empowered. And this was very important for me. So this was what I was very proud of. And furthermore, I was very happy at the end to see all the ideas that had been made, because I was working with a harvester, and the harvester had the task to fill in a mirror, so a document which all the ideas were summarized. And I was very happy to see that at the end, like, our job was very meaningful and was very fruitful. This was very enjoying.
Could you point out some ideas and some outcomes that you guys did in the group?
Yes. So we studied some specific best practices, and we tried to determine how they could be even more successful. So, for instance, we said to motivate people, there should be a very close link between the bodies implementing the policy, taking decisions, and between the young people. So we said, for instance, they could be more representation on the decision instance. They could be also more dialogue. So yeah, that was an example of what we've been doing during the activities.
Was this your first time at the European Youth Conference, or were you here before, maybe as a youth delegate?
No, it was my first time. Actually, I was facilitator in Strasbourg, but it's my first cycle. I became facilitator because in France I am coordinator in my association that is called AFS Intercultural Programs, and I do a lot of facilitation. So I've had this occasion to become facilitator for the EU Youth Conference, and I took the occasion, and I'm really happy of that because I really enjoyed.
So are you considering coming back next year to Sweden?
Yeah, I hope so. Then it doesn't depend to me, but I will do my best to go back, and I would be happy to see the facilitators and the delegates and the participants more generally again. I would be very happy of that.
And my last question is there a message that you would like to send either to the delegates that are already here to continue their work, or maybe to the youth in general that are not yet participating in politics but should become active European citizens?
Yes, my message would be, I've heard that some of the participants of the activities were a bit disappointed because they had very high expectations, and at the end they feel, oh, but what we are going to do is not going to change from one day to another. And my message would be, don't feel discouraged, don't feel sad. Of course, the change process is long, is slow, is much slower than we would like to, but it doesn't matter if you keep pushing, if you keep believing in your ideas, if you keep acting, then things are going to change. So don't feel sad or don't feel discouraged that things are not changing as fast as you would like to.
Okay. Thank you so much, and enjoy the closing ceremony of the conference.
Yeah, I am very enjoying it. Because it's the summary of all what we have been doing. So it's nice to see that, again, our work was fruitful. So yes, I'm really enjoying it.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you very much.